Hey everyone, welcome back to our final segment of Session 5 of Fistful. The Pale Rider just revealing themselves to Kona. What does Kona do in this moment? After accepting such a simplistic offer.
Yeah, I think her eyes are closed, and she sees whatever she sees in her mind the guiding voice of the desert eagle or something, and that she's it mixes in with her thoughts, and she puts her hand up, like without looking, just puts her hand up to the rider and accepts the bargain and gets led. She's like, lead me, and then she just gets led. Um, what's really going on here? I think it's Kona doesn't know, but Mark's kind of interested to know.
Out of character, Kona just accepted a curse from the Pale Rider.
Oh yeah, some
Essentially
from before, right?
helping their to help in their bidding in relieving everyone of pain. What that truly
Mm.
entails has yet to be seen. But for the moment, Kona is at peace. There is no more wondering, there is no more questioning, there is no more anxiety or pain from past experiences or present. She is, in a sense, truly free.
Oh, okay. So I guess when she reaches up to touch the rider's hand, I think it leaves a burn mark on her hand that we, the audience, for whatever, us the players, we can see that. But I think Kona doesn't react to it at all, but it looks grisly, right? And this is we could see it's like her soul hand, like not her real hand, but yeah, I think it's it leaves a smell in the air a little bit, like almost like burnt hair or something, and we can see. Yeah, Kona doesn't react to it, but the rider just
I
looks
will
down.
say that the burn marks are not necessarily an opposing hand that she accepted. It
Hmm.
is more tendrils
Oh,
than a
cool.
burn.
Right. Mm. Almost like veins.
Well, for our audience, not so much of our characters, Kona
Mm.
will not recognize it, but our audience may
Mm.
recognize it. It's the same demonic cephalopod or whatnot that was mentioned by the Thunderous Raven tribe in their stories,
Oh, the octopus is back. Brr, brr,
as
brr.
well as the
Yeah.
person who killed her brother.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Slithering tentacle kind of thing. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, so okay. Yep. We just see her open her eyes, and then they look slightly darker, right? Like the whites look like they're gray. They're dark gray. And then yeah, I guess I indulged there too. I used
Mm-hmm.
that opportunity to do that.
Absolutely. I
Um,
think in this moment, the camera pans as Kona accepts the peace in her soul and her mind. We move on to Monroe being bandaged. And I would say at this point, do you want to go ahead and already have done the healing roll, Monroe, for this?
I only have one tick on the clock, so I think it's just kind of fills right.
Okay, yeah.
Yay. No
You're kind
longer.
of bandaged up, you've been rested, fed, and now you just kind of wake up from a nap. And Aunt Polly is sitting there, enjoying a lovely read in a certain diary.
mhm.
It all now dried out. She supposedly had gone ahead and did what she could to save the wet paper from fully disintegrating.
Ma'am, I didn't know you. She's wearing red. Wearing red, right?
Mm-hmm.
I uh yeah, I was he like kind of looks up at her in the foot of her bed reading and just kind of like pushes himself up, feels like the bandage is still a little bit bruised, and gets up and kind of looks at her reading there, and he kind of maybe he like sneers at her, and he's kind of like, why am I not surprised that you're in here? And he goes over and like puts on his overshirt and gets dressed basically.
She just continues reading. I do declare, Charles, you are an absolutely fascinating man. And she just keeps on reading. I will have to say, it should be no surprise that I'm here, for I believe you are in my boudoir. Doesn't look up as he changes, just keeps on reading.
Yes, well, tell me if you find anything interesting. See, like, adjusts his cufflinks and looks in the mirror and is just like, looks how pale and destitute he looks. And then glances into the mirror back at Aunt Polly. Says, you're having a bit of fun, aren't you? Teasing me like this, knowing some sort of grand destiny that you have. Well, spit it out. What is it you and that infernal book want from me?
Kind of closes the book. Kind of just sets it in her lap and puts her other hands over the top of it. You think that I have some grand design, all revolving around little old you.
Go back to bed. Go back to bed.
It's almost like sounds like something that could have been said to your character.
All right.
Yeah. It's kind of perfect. Go back to bed, Monroe.
And I think with that, Aunt Polly just kind of sets the book down on the little nightstand between the bed and her chair, rocking chair. Sets it down. Do you really think you're the only person here that isn't cursed with some destiny? That isn't trapped within some eternal nightmare?
All right, what makes
How
you so
many
damn special?
times have we been through this particular conversation? Oh, Charles, you're so naive. This is why you started to keep a diary. You can write down what you previously did, so you could supposedly remember. But then again, you weren't always that bright to go ahead and listen to yourself. And she kind of stands up at this point, and I think with that, you can't. It's almost for the audience on the camera. It shifts back and forth between the Red Rider and Aunt Polly as she's talking. Charles, you don't even remember what you found in that blasted pool? Do you?
And I think at this point, Charles is fully dressed and he's wearing the finest silvery or whatever that you've ever seen. It's clean. His lines are crisp. His hat is neat. He has his vest on and his overcoat, and he kind of tugs on himself twice, and he snatches the book from the journal from Aunt Polly, and he kind of uses it as kind of like a prop as he's playing to her. He's like, "I've had enough of your nonsense." Not too convincingly. "I'm Charles Monroe, and I write my own destiny." And then he's gonna exit the room, and but as soon as the camera cuts to him walking out of the room, and it's like a two shot of him and Aunt Polly, you can see the utter conviction that he had just the moment prior just sort of drop, and he's just kind of his little twill mustache twitches, and he clears his throat and exits into the House of Roses proper.
I think with that, the camera pans back to Polly's perspective as she stands there and watches you leave. Hopefully this time he will know what that destiny is. Cutscene.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think it's funny because it
So-
seems like we're all on different pages, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will have to say that those clothes that Monroe had were lovingly tailored to perfectly fit his measurements. So he probably isn't aware that he was sized up the moment that she saw him. Yes. You guys have had some private moments, had some time to reflect. What is it that you would like to do? How do you get to the gates? What necessarily is your goal? What mysteries are left to unravel, either within the skeletons of your minds or in reality?
I imagine Kona's trying to figure out something. She wants to know what's really going on with the others. Are they gonna be a help to what the writer is leading her towards? So she's just kind of like, she's wanting to know what's really going on, but she's asking about the others. Like, are they going to be helpful for that? Yeah, for what the writer's leading her towards.
Charles Monroe is going to go about his day or days if it takes that long, and he is going to be the sheriff of Mudwater, and he's going to be going to his office every day and doing his sheriffy duties, and I'll leave the planning up to the other players, but essentially you'll have to pick him up from Mudwater when we're ready to go. He's just trying to ignore it and trying to like live a normal life. But he's not even sure what that means or why he's being the sheriff. It strikes him as peculiar. He's doing his paperwork, but then he goes back down and keeps doing it.
I mean, maybe you're trying to get something out of that by doing sheriff work.
I am trying to ignore every crazy thing that's happening right now and trying to live a normal life.
Yeah, maybe this is a reduced doom action.
Good, actually.
Not that we're interested in those details anymore. But Maybe giving law and order back to Mudwater
Law and order.
could be something.
Wait, so
Go
we
ahead
still,
and make me a fortune roll, Monroe. See how well you do that.
I was gonna say we have 2 riders. Do we have to roll that stuff after every mission? Roll 2 dice.
Oh no, I added an extra dice on accident. Sorry, let me redo that. Fortune roll. Submit. Wait, is there a general fortune roll, or am I rolling from one of my skills?
This is just a generic
Okay.
fortune roll. Seeing how well you do during your sheriffly duties.
Okay, I'm gonna just manually roll 1d6.
I'll skip that.
A 3. You think that you do a fairly decent job. I will say that there has been a few days that have passed during this time. You have addressed some unruly drunkards outside of the House of Roses. You have provided new ordinances for the mining unions and everything else. Based on what you have seen in your diary and current documentation within your desk at the sheriff's office, you are well aware that there are some new ordinances regarding worker rights and wages. So you post those. You go ahead and start just doing your everyday thing, going through, cleaning things up, and then you come to the last thing. Missing child. Up on your board. You've taken down the twins' wanted posters, and underneath one of them you'll notice that there is a missing child poster.
Is it Nero?
No. Seems to be a little boy. Around the age of 6.
So
Thomas.
while
6 or 16? 6,
6.
right? Okay. It's not me.
So while that's happening, I just imagine that the montage of Monroe going about helping the town of Mudwater, there's like some like really folksy like bluegrass movies, like and then every task that he does, and it's always like in the daytime, he just glances out of his corner as like he's smiling, and like Aunt Polly or the Red and White Rider is there, just always like in the scene, and he just can't quite escape her.
She's just standing there in her pretty little red dress and just watching, smiling and nodding.
Monroe is gonna rip the missing poster out, and I guess he's gonna tuck it, crumple it up, and kind of tuck it inside, and head out and try to do that one as well.
What are the rest of you doing during this time? There's a few days of recuperating, of resting, of just mentally coming to grips with what has recently happened.
Yeah, I think Nero will indulge in their vice, which I don't think they've done yet because they've just been foaming out. Instead.
That's interesting.
But they're in their lair, so they are going to commune with the threshold, which I think is... I think the way that they do it is that they kind of meditate and kind of try and commune with the threshold by like letting themselves go and trying to subsume themselves into the greater spirit of the threshold.
I think Ezra is asking if he can go with you and watch over you. while you do it.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's very nervous about this.
Yeah.
He knows. I think he knows that you're close to maybe maybe you're close to the burning beyond while you do this, and this is his. It's okay. Just do your thing, and then I'll pick up later.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your roll here, Nero.
That was twice.
And don't forget the assist from Ezra as well.
Yeah. I mean, it was a 6, so I'll just roll another d6.
Yes.
Mm.
No crit.
But it was a 6, so I'm just going to clear 6.
Of course.
What does a crit on a vice roll do?
It clears technically just like it filling any other clock or whatnot. It's going to actually fill more
Right.
ticks. But if you overindulge with a crit, it's you're really doing it well. So it's pretty much like any other roll with a specific crit.
Yeah.
This is cool. You can not only overindulge, but you can doing it well.
Yeah.
I would say as you are sitting there in your meditation with the threshold, Ezra, you are joining Nero for the first time with this.
Yeah, what he's trying to do is just what Ezra knows is that we will going soon, and it will be near or in the burning beyond where we will go. So what he's trying to do is just simply steel his nerves and train his nerves a little bit. So what I'm trying here is to have a simple train action on guts, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
As you sit there in the mouth of the cave, you will feel both of you as you sit there. This warm, almost like a massive din, this brass being sounded. And as you open your eyes and look, it's not the mouth of the cave anymore, looking towards the city or the town. It is the burning beyond, of which you both are familiar with. Glass tumbleweeds tinkle like crystal, tinking together as it rolls in an unseen wind. Trees made of crystalline, blossoming in Hellstone blossoms. Leaves and petals falling from the trees, glowing like firelit embers. Again, in an unseen wind. You don't feel any wind. You can sense that there is something unseen here. There's multiple suns or planetoids in the sky above. One burning bright and heavy, like brimstone itself. Another whole before breaking and shattering across the sky. And then reversing and breaking and shattering and reversing and breaking and shattering, seemingly caught within a loop. You hear sounds and creatures within the burning beyond. Voices, memories. Stuff. Ezra, you hear Paul, yet his voice is deeper, like the rider. Asking questions. In a small, it's a deeper voice, but it still has a childlike quality to it. Are we lost, dear brother? Will we ever make it home? Mother will be worried. Nero, you hear a voice very similar to your rival. The demon
Okay.
upon a brimstone horse. My soul is already lost to hell. Question is, where is your soul? Questions of that interaction with them upon the high desert still haunting you. And then another little voice. Hello? Is anyone out there? I just want to go home.
Oh, shit.
Nobody wants to help me get home. And you see a little figure off in the distance. This little boy. And then all of a sudden, the vision is ended. You are back at the threshold of the cave. And I think with that, we're going to go ahead and end today's session.
Oh, that's an entanglement kind of thing?
Shit.
What is that? That's interesting.
That was great.
Yeah, so let's do our outros, and we're gonna let this session set us up for another couple more episodes. Looking forward to that. Let's start with Ray. You're on the bottom.
I'm Ray. I played Monroe. You can find my work at www.mythopoeia.us.
And I'll go next. I'm Mark Cleveland. I'm also the author of a hack as well. You can find out my stuff on markcleveland.itch.io or at SaveMeGbu5. That's on Twitter. What about you, Tree?
Hey, on you can find me on Discord on the Late in the Dark server, tree#7. Come join us. We have a great time. As you can see, this is only one of many things we do on the server, and thank you for watching.
Okay, I go next. I'm Stefan. I'm the creator of of Fistful of Darkness. Sorry. It's a great game, and if you're interested in other Forged in the Dark game, there's a bundle of holding active right now with not only Blade in the Dark in it, but all the big players too. So Scum and Villainy, Band of Blades, and A Fistful of Darkness. Haha.
Oh.
So I want to point you to bundle of holding this time. Thanks.
I'll
Yeah.
go ahead and post it in the chat for everyone who is watching. It is a wonderful bundle, and it goes to a good cause.
Oh yeah, I want to check that out. Mm-hmm.
I am Mistletoe Kiss. I am the GM of this lovely game today. You can find me on Mistletoe Kiss on Itch.io or Mistletoe T-Rex on Twitter, but I am mostly active within the Discord server. And as you can see, this is what we do. These are games that we create. We'd love to have you. It's a very welcoming and enjoyable community. And until next time, love you all. We'll see you in the next one.